What to do if you have social or dating anxiety. Hang on, let's talk about it. I know a lot of you privately struggle with this. In fact, yesterday I had a call with a girl who was facing the same exact issue. So I had to have a brainstorming session with her. Now, I'm no therapist, so I think number one, you definitely want to be working with a qualified therapist. And just because somebody calls themselves a therapist or a relationship expert or a matchmaker doesn't make them good or credible. Keep in mind when you hire someone to work with, therapist or anyone, that you do your research and you check their credentials. Do that first. But then I think if you're struggling with deep psychological issues, that beyond the tips I'm about to give you are going to be proactive, because I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist. What I am is somebody who knows dating and knows different dating strategies and techniques that work. And I like to give you proactive techniques for things. And that's what I'm going to give you here today. Okay, hang on. So I had to do this brainstorming session on the spot with her, and I came up with a few good ones that I want to share with you today that might help push you out of this fear zone that you're locked into, because anxiety is just fear. You know, it could be real, but most of the time it's not real. Like things you imagine that might happen never do. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few practical tips and strategies that'll help push you limbo land, rat wheel that you're on, that where you just going in circles, not making any progress. Hang on. Join meetup groups. Meetup groups are everywhere. Why meetup? In fact, meetup's been around for years. I had several meetup groups over the years. The good thing about meetup is that the people aren't necessarily like the coolest or snobbiest people in the world, which is good, because these are people that want to meet other people. They're open-minded. They're friendly. They're looking to do exactly what you're doing. Get their feet wet, talking to people, socializing, and it's a safe space. And also when you join Meetup, you can see all the members' pictures. So you can get an idea of the type of people that are in the group. And most of these groups have live events. Live events and getting out of your house and going and doing is really key. But I got more, hang on. I even think dance lessons could be great. Now, I suggested dance lessons to her, and she was like, oh, I like line dancing. Line dancing isn't quite the same, because you're not physically touching anybody when you're doing line dancing. At least not any of the line dancing classes I've ever been to. I would say ballroom dancing, or even salsa. Salsa is very sexy, because that way you're partnered with somebody, right? And it might sound scary, that's the point. And then you have to touch each other. So I think for those who are introverted, socially awkward, or with arrested development, as she said she is, I think doing these kind of things, salsa, ballroom dancing, where you can actually physically get your hands on somebody, and for those ladies that aren't in their feminine, they have to like let the guy lead. I think whether you're a man or a woman, I think dancing lessons could be amazing. But I got more. Next on the list, there's speed dating events. There's live and online speed dating events. I think they've rebranded it and now they call it shuffle events. But you can do these shuffle events. Why is this so great? Because boy, if you get nervous talking to people, it's a very short window of time you have with somebody. If you stumble, if you say something you feel stupid, doesn't matter. Your time's up. You move on to the next person. They got somebody else in the seat. They're never going to remember your mistakes. They're probably not even mistakes, but at least this gives you a chance to practice. I would go to as many speed dating or shuffle events as possible. Last but not least, now that you've kind of done these practice things that I've suggested, I would suggest going to happy hours or any kind of events you could find and go by yourself. Going by yourself is really key, but you don't want to go late at night. Go kind of on the earlier side of it, because I don't want you running, especially ladies, running around town late at night by yourselves. And you never leave your drinks unattended, all right? Cover them, take them to the restroom, whatever you want to do. But go and talk to people. Because when you go with a friend to events, you cling on to your friend like a life preserver. But this way, if you're by yourself, it forces you to talk to more people. And I would start going to as many of these things as possible. Push yourself. And I hope it helps.